Hi there, this is Chris from MoneyHub, and this video looks at using the LifeDirect tool to get quotes for level cover for life insurance. So as a background, we're big fans of LifeDirect. We've worked with them for around 5 years. We like the fact that they do what we can't, which is provide live life insurance quotes, and not just life insurance, but also, as you can see from here, health insurance, income protection, trauma insurance, and things like that, mortgage insurance. And they work with a number of insurers who are well known, and we just like the fact that they're also backed up by experienced brokers behind the website that customers can call as well. So let's just go through and get a quote for life insurance and show you exactly how that's done and using the level cover. So let's go compare quotes. And what it's going to do, it's going to prompt us to choose the policy holder that needs to be covered. So we're going to do a 40-year-old male, and we're going to do a non-smoker with $500,000 of cover. Now, if you're not sure how much to use, then you can use the calculator. We'll outline that. I've got that outlined, sorry, in a different video, but that's just for your reference. And now I want to add a female for the same policy, and also a non-smoker with that $500,000 of cover. So you can see some notes there that LifeDirect service is free. That's very standard within the life insurance brokerage business. And the reason it's free is because, of course, they make commissions. That is the standard. That's the standard way the industry works. Now, let's just go here and we'll move this into a year so we can see exactly how this works. And then let's go into, we want level cover. And that means it's not going to increase in age. So let's go for 10 years, which means if you're 40 today and you take the policy out, it's going to be the same price until you're 50, and then the policy will expire. So let's just go to apply changes. And great, and you can see that this is, so these are the quotes. Now you're not getting quotes from some of the other insurers for whatever reason. They're not going to provide level cover, but these ones are. So you can see here the price for 1 year, which is going to be fixed, is $1,000. So over 10 years, you'd expect to pay around, well, I said $1,000, sorry. You'd expect to pay just under 11,000. With AIA, you'd expect to pay just over 11,000. And with Fidelity, you'd expect to pay just around 13,000. Now I'm going to click on the all details so we can see more information about the quotes. The reason people would take out a level policy, usually, and you can read this in our guide linked below, is the fact that they may have a large mortgage balance that they want to cover. And it's just much easier to look at 10 years and say, let's cover for that should the worst happen. And then after 10 years, we can reassess, see what we need. But at least this locks us in with this insurance. Now, if we go down here, we can see the lifetime reward. So there's information there if you're healthy and you have a certain if you have a certain BMI and you're not a smoker, then there'll be a discount possibly applied there. And you can see similar things from AIA too. The reason that they do this is because they want you. Is because they want your business. You're talking about a $10,000 or so policy over 10 years. This is valuable to them. They want healthy people as well, people who have low fat or low BMI, and just generally fit a low risk profile. That means they have less chances of paying out because you're healthier, which is more profitable to them. So they incentivize that by giving discounts to the people they want to insure. Now, if we go through here, you can see the financial strength ratings. We have a guide on insurers' financial strength. These are objectively strong, so there's no need to be concerned. And then you can see the customer service here. This is a subjective, how LifeDirect assesses it. but you can see ratings of around 4.4 to 4.5. Of course, those can change at any time. Now, the policy name is for Chubb is called Assurance Extra. Just as a reference, Chubb took over the assets of Cigna, so that's why you may not be familiar with that name, whereas AIA took over the assets of Sovereign, which used to be owned by ASB, and then Fidelity Life is Fidelity Life. You can see they've got different names for their policies. The expiry age, if we just have a look at exactly like what age does this expire. If it's a 10-year plan, then we'd expect that in 10 years. That's saying none. Let's just ignore that. And then full payment on death and full payment on terminal illness. That's really important because what this means is that if you are diagnosed with something which doctors, which the policy says is a terminal illness, then you will be paid out before death. And of course, there's always full payment on death as well. You can have a look at the fact that it's covered worldwide. If I just go, just before that, the exclusions. So that's pretty standard to exclude suicide within 13 months of the policy being taken out. And then if the policy is claimed on, it will also pay a funeral grant of $25,000. That's in addition to the $500,000 cover. Worldwide means it's going to kick in wherever you are if you die overseas. And then if you do want to change the cover, if you have a child or extend your mortgage or buy a larger house, need more life insurance, then that's possible too. Of course, the policy fee will change, but that's something that they offer. And then of course you can choose to have it inflation adjusted as well. That's your benefits. So if you wanted to make sure that if there was high inflation over the next 10 years, that $500,000 today isn't worth $300,000 in 10 years, then you can choose to do that as well. Of course, you will pay more for the premium. And you can see here that once you submit, you will get up to submit the documents to get coverage. Then you will get up to $500,000 maximum cover because it does take some time to assess. Once, of course, it is assessed and approved, then you go on to the policy which you've applied for. In this case, it was $500,000, but that would be the maximum if you were looking for more. The financial planning grant is something which is given out in terms of death, and so that's quite useful. What happens usually is the surviving partner or the family members need some financial help, and so these fees, also this benefit kicks in and it will pay for that. Then you can read the policy documents there. So it's really important just to have a look. What we'll do now is just play around with some of the different numbers. So we've selected level cover. If we want to go and then change age to age 65, let's apply those changes. And it's going to be a higher quote. You can see also more insurers come into play here. So Partners Life appears, and so does Astron Life. So they're not offering 10-year levels, they're offering up to 65, and of course the policy is much higher. And of course, that's going to change based on if you go to age 70. We apply changes there, you should expect it to see slightly larger. And then if we go again to age 80, because you're locking in a price, you would expect that also to be higher as well. So you can see that there. Now, if you do decide to say, okay, I want to go up to age 65, but I want $1 million cover each, just in case, something really serious happens and we have a lot of mortgage to pay, i.e. death, let's go and have a look at that. And then you can see that the policy price will increase. Of course, this is yours to play around with, but the tool is very easy. And what we like about it is the fact it's instant, and it's got helpful sort of side tools as well if you need calculator or how much should I apply for. One thing to note is that you can add in other insurances. We say right now, just if you're getting an understanding of life insurance, just cover, like look for one right now. You can always add these in later. You do get multiple policy discounts, but it's good just to see that, see the life prices in isolation. Now, if you have decided that you want to go ahead with somebody, then the process with LifeDirect is simply to select. You will see here that they do offer cashback, and that means that if you've taken out the policy, certain insurers offer this and other ones don't, then you'll get 20% of your premium back. Once you've had a full 13 months of it, they'll remit that to you, or you can claim it through their through their client portal. This is for LifeDirect. So this is very useful to just be aware of, because the insurance companies want your business and they're very happy to pay upfront some cash back to get you over the line and make it more attractive for you to sign up. Now, if we push select, it's going to prompt here. This is just for Chubb, but of course, all these will be different depending on who you select. If we do Astron, and then what it'll say, it'll start coming up with your information. So you can go through the process here to get the quote, and also the quote confirmed, and submit the application. And that is a separate video, which I've linked to below, but that's useful to have a look at too. So if you have any questions, do let us know in the comment section below. We want these videos and our resources to be as helpful as possible. So your comments certainly help us get that delivered. Thanks very much, and wishing you the best for your life insurance journey.